Well, good morning to everyone. It's morning here in Melbourne, and I wish you the very best for the day. Today's presentation will be on Dante Alighieri, and Dante Alighieri for me has become a real journey for myself as well, because it is a journey through the afterlife, and I'm very happy to see that the work, the journey continues. This is Canto 21, and it's Tom Padula here from TomPadulaTV and Insegna Booksellers. And this is my 5-minute presentation before I actually start the reading of the Canto 21. And the Canto 21 is about the barattieri. Now, who are the barattieri in this eighth circle of hell, and also eighth circle of hell, and it's the quinta bolgia. It's the fifth part of that eighth circle. We are dealing with here with the sins created by people who cheat, swindlers, embezzlers, baraters in English, truffatori, malviventi. So in the Middle Ages, people who held public office in our bureaucracies, if you like, in the private sector as well, who get themselves corrupted by doing favours, facilitating certain things that need to be done, but receiving something in return when they shouldn't. So this is, nel Medioevo, il pubblico ufficiale reo di baratteria, colui che avendo un ufficio si fa corrompere per denaro o altra ricompensa. So people who get themselves corrupted, they are placed in this quinta bolgia. Welcome, Curtis. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for coming in. So this is the circle, the eighth circle of hell, and it's the quinta bolgia, the fifth section of this circle. This is an interesting one, because there's a pece bollente. Pece bollente, look it up. It's a viscous, elastic, liquid black mass. It's like plastic. So what happens here? That the sinners are placed in it, and they have to. It's like a bit of a lake, and they have to stay down. And there are 10. Well, there are a lot of devils, but the real devils, horns and unghie lunghe, long per graffiare, no? Tutto, all your fingers and everything else, and whatever could hurt the souls going in, because they are barattieri. They need to be punished. And what is the punishment here? Is that you contaminate yourself in public office, and therefore you are then placed in a pitch. It's called a pitch, la pece. In English, it's pitch as well. And there you are, it's bollente, it's boiling pitch in there. And if you dare raise your head, the devils are ready to pounce on you, make sure that you stay down. So that's basically it. This whole canto is easy to read in a way. And may I say that I have just received some copies of Inferno at Insegna from Italy, and I'm very happy to say now that I'm organised in order to, if anyone is interested. I know very few people are interested in the whole works. They like to hear a little bit about it, but the whole works is quite a challenge. It's a university course, literally. If you do it, it'll take you a couple of years at least. A couple of years should do it. But you get a lot out of it. You get a lot of satisfaction inside. And that's what I'm getting now by doing it online like this. I thought, who in Australia has done this? Not many people. So therefore, for me, it's a great satisfaction to be able to come on and do this. And whilst I'm doing Dante, I'm also then promoting my own works. Amica Poesia. I have a lot of online work now. With YouTube, I've got about 1,170 entries and so much more. So the work keeps going because that's what I do, culture and language and history. That's culture. So that's where I am. And finally, I also have travelled a little bit in the past, and I thought, well, why not? And I'll be showing you something from where I was born. My place when I was born, where I was as a child. It's come a long way since then, I can tell you. Okay, so let's start. It's 11:30 and I'll start. Okay, so this is the Canto of the Barattieri, Canto 21. And if you have the actual canto in front of you, you can read it with me. Here I have this particular one. I'll show you the devils. These are some of the devils in there, in this canto. Okay, so I'm very lucky to have a lot of books of this particular work of Dante Alighieri. I admire him a lot because he's one of the three major poets and writers of the 13th, 14th century who have created the Italian language in a way. And of course, the language keeps on developing. So here we go. Canto 21. Canto 21, il quale tratta delle pene nelle quali sono puniti coloro che commisero baratteria, nel quale vizio abomina i lucchesi. E qui tratta di 10 demoni ministri all'ufficio di questo luogo e coglisi qui il tempo che fu compilata per Dante questa opera. So, 3 things here. One is Dante loves to hate the people from Lucca, they're all barattieri. It was very common in his times to get a kickback. Has anything changed? I hope so. And then people who are, che ministri all'ufficio, so they are the bureaucrats facilitating business and activities. And Dante mentions his own works, like Commedia, he calls it. So, let me read you the note before I start. I barattieri. I barattieri sono colpevoli di corruzione politica, political corruption. Il peccato è una versione civile della simonia della Chiesa. So, in the previous one we had simonia, that's for the clergy in the Middle Ages. This is now, i barattieri sono in the civil arena. Favori e tangenti sostituiscono la vendita di uffici e indulgenze religiose. So this is the sins. It's a fraudulent thing. I barattieri sono immersi nella pece bollente. So they're immersed. La legge del contrappasso. Whatever you do in life, then you do wrong, then there you get punished accordingly. Questa punizione rispecchia forse l'attaccamento al potere che hanno mostrato in vita o forse la loro tendenza a commettere azioni illecite sotto banco. So, in life, it's like you have power. When you have power, then you can do whatever you want. So, and if you misuse this, it's a sin. I diavoli, they're the ones who go and look after you in hell, presiedono i bordi della bolgia e infieriscono con i propri uncini, hooks, they got hooks, long sticks, and very sharp nails, i propri uncini su chiunque così osi uscire dalla pece. So if they dare to come out of the pitch, a boiling pitch, they hit them. Dante stesso, now, this is a personal thing. Dante was exiled. So he was exiled because he was accused of baratteria. Dante stesso venne accusato di malversazione e corruzione. He was a public officer. a bureaucrat, a very highly placed bureaucrat in Florence of the times. And he was accused of baratteria, of corruption. L'accusa venne mossa dai Guelfi neri. The accusation came from the Guelfi, that this party, it was his own party, it was divided in neri e bianchi. He was dalla parte bianca, I neri accused him of that, per giustificare anche sul piano legale il suo esilio, to justify his exile from Florence. So they kept up, they didn't like him obviously, he was too smart for his own good. Doesn't that happen to all of us? If you think you're smart, then people put you in your place. Anyway, here we go. There are a few other notes and I'll come back to them. Così di ponte in ponte, altro parlando che la mia commedia cantar non cura, venimmo e tenevamo al colmo quando restammo per vedere l'altra fessura di male bolge. So this is male bolge. And so they were walking down. He didn't talk about his own works. He just was looking down. E gli altri pianti vani. So they were looking down. E vidi là mirabilmente oscura. And I saw it, pitch black. Quale nell'arzanate veneziani bolle l'inverno la tenace pece e rimpalmare i legni lor non sani, che navigar non ponno in quella vece che fa suo legno nuovo e chi ristoppa le cose a qualche più viaggi fece. So this is a direct description of what happened in Venice when they were fixing up the boats. They were leaking, obviously, and they used the pitch. They used la pece. This viscous, what is it? It's a viscous, a viscous material that comes from bitumen or catrame, he called it, the carbon fossile. So bitumen, you know, what we made roads with. And then they used that to fix up in Venice. So Dante shows that he's moved around, of course. Now, le coste a qualche più viaggi fece. Chi ribatte da prode e chi da poppa, altri fa remi, altri volge sarte, chi terzeruolo e artimon rintoppa. Tal non per poco, ma per divinarte bollia, laggiù su una pegola spessa che inviscava la ripa d'ogni parte. So the devils, if you like, they were helping the pitch remain bollente and moving it around, making sure that it was ready to use against, of course, in this case, against the souls from, who have come to this bolgia. El vedea lei, ma non vedea in essa mai che le bolle che il bollor levava a gonfiar tutta e riseder compressa. So I saw this, but it was in the dark, but I couldn't see it. He saw it, but he couldn't see it. What do you do when you see in the dark? You can see the dark, but you can't see what's in it. That's the idea of this particular terzina. Io vedea lei, ma non vedea in essa mai che bolle, I couldn't see it boiling, e che il bollor levava, but you could feel the heat coming out of it, coming up. E gonfiar tutta, e risedere compressa, and it was very compressed, this pitch. Mentre io là giù fisamente mirava, whilst I was looking down, lo duca mio, his guide, see, he always mentions him, dicendo, guarda, guarda, look what's coming. Mi trasse a sé del loco dove io stavo. It took me away from there because he was looking down. There was the stones around the bolgia. So he was sort of leaning down and looking down. Allora mi volsi, come l'uomo cui tarda di vedere quel che gli conviene fuggire e cui paura subita sgagliarda. So as he turned, he said, I should run away from this danger. And he became very frightful Why? Because che per vedere non indugia il partire, e vidi dietro a noi un diavolo nero correndo su per lo scoglio venire. So, un diavolo nero, a black devil coming sullo scorcio on the side of the bulge. You know, there's a circular stone construction, obviously, or stones there, and he was running on those. And let's see what happened. The diavolo nero. Ai quantelli era nell'aspetto fero. Oh, how, you know, I was so frightened of him. E quando mi parea nell'atto acerbo, con l'ali aperte sopra i piedi leggero, and he looked as if, you know, he had something to do. All the aspect, all looking at him was quite a sight, because he was carrying somebody on his shoulders as well. Here we go. L'omero suo, the shoulders, che era aguto e superbo, carcava un peccator con ambe lanche, e quei tenea che de pie ghermito il nervo. So he had with him a soul that he held with his feet, with the soul's feet. So the head of the head of the sinner was, you know, behind. And he was running. Poor guy. What a soul. Del nostro ponte disse: "Oh male branche, ecco che un degli anziani di Santa Zita, mettetelo sotto che torno per anche." So Santa Zita is the saint of Lucca in Italy. So male branche are all those, you know, that committee of devils. So oh male branche. Ecco un degli anziani. Here is one of the old ones from Santa Zita, from Lucca, of course. Mettetelo sotto, primanda, che torno per anco a quella terra, because I'm going to return to that land there, che ne è ben fornita. People like him, there are plenty of them there. Ognuno ve barattier fuor de bonturo. Every man there is a barattiere, according to this devil, except for Bonturo, which is not true. He was the head of the barattiere, but no one knew about it. So he was a really good barattiere, a good embezzler. He was quite a cunning bureaucrat. Del no per li danar vi si faita, from every no that you should give as a result of the requests. As long as you give them money, the no becomes a yes. Interesting, huh? Money talks. And what did they say? Bullshit walks. Sorry about that. I never say bad words, but in this case, yeah, it's appropriate. Even Dante does it sometimes. And he does it right at the end of this canto. He gets one of the devils to do something we don't talk about, but some people do. Here we go. Laggiù il buttò e per lo scoglio duro si volse e mai non fu mastino sciolto con tanta fretta a seguitarlo furo. So he had this man, his soul on his shoulders, and he threw him down. And then he looked around like un mastino, like a mad dog. Very quickly did it. Quel s'attuffò e tornò su convolto. That soul went down and came up. Ma i demoni del ponte avevano coperchio gridar. But the devils from the ponte, from where they were on top of the pitch, on the rocks, on the bridge, which apparently didn't exist, but anyway. And they say, qui non ha loco il santo volto. Here you don't turn your face. You got to be down, barattiere. You don't have any power here. We are the power. You are the victim. You are the victim. Qui si nuota altrimenti che nel cerchio. So this is, you're swimming here very differently from where you were in your bureaucracy, in your place of power. In in life. Però se tu non vuoi i nostri graffi, if you don't want us to scratch you and hit you, non far sopra la pegola soverchio, don't come up above the pitch. Poi l'addentar con più di 100 raffi, disser, coverto convien che qui balli, sicché se poi nascosamente accappi. So the others then went for that poor soul. Non altrimenti i cuochi a lor vassalli fanno attuffar in mezzo alla caldaia la carne con gli uncin perché non galli. Now this is a reference to Middle Age descriptions of devils, what devils do. And I read something about that there were some cooks who were cooking people for the devil. And they prepared the meal and then they offered to the devil, and the devil said, not cooked enough. So, yeah, so there's all this plebeian, like popular fun. Because don't forget, this is the beginning of the Rinascimento. There was a lot of trade involved, people moving around in those times. At the end of the Crusades, people had gone to the Crusades for a couple 100 years and they'd come back and they'd brought trade back. You know, there's a lot of history behind all this. Okay, let's go on. Lo buon maestro, so we got to Virgil now. Virgil says, lo buon maestro, Dante says, a ciò che non si paia che tu ci sia, so that it appears that you're not here, mi disse, giù t'acquatta dopo uno scheggio che alcun schermo taia. So make sure that no one sees you, so hide well, because these people are, you know, what they are. So let me read you, before I go any further, let me read you this particular note. Il demone porta un peccatore di Lucca. A Lucca, la città protetta da Santa Zita, la corruzione politica e burocratica era così radicata anche nel Collegio Supremo degli Anziani da essere divenuta quasi la norma. Bastava versare del denaro alla persona giusta per trasformare un no in sì. Il diavolo dice che a Lucca tutti sono barattieri, eccetto Bonturo, which is not true. Naturalmente il tono è sarcastico, a sarcastic tone. Bonturo Dati era infatti ben noto proprio per essere un autentico campione di baratteria. He was the chief barattiere in Lucca, eccetto him. Tutti gli altri sono barattieri. Well, no one escapes the work for this demon, this devil. Okay. All right. Solo buon maestro, a ciò che non ti pare che tu ci sia, mi disse giù t'acquatta dopo uno scheggio che alcun schermo taia, e per nulla offensione che mi sia fatta, non temer tu, chi ho le cose conte per calcia volta fui a tal baratta. So here he goes. He says, oh, I'm going to ask the chief devil here for something. So make sure, okay, that you stay quiet and don't worry about anything else. Don't be fearful. Just don't worry, okay? Poscia passò di là dal co del ponte, so he went over, Virgilio, e come giunge in sulla ripa sesta, mestier gli fu d'aver sicura fronte. Con quel furore e con quella tempesta che escono i cani. So as Virgil crossed the bridge, well, or the whatever there was there, the walk, all the devils went towards him, like dogs, like barking dogs, che escono i cani addosso al poverello, che di subito chiede ove s'arresta. So he stopped. Uscirono quei di sotto al ponticello e volsero contro lui tutti i rincigli. So they were all ready to show to do what they normally do, you know, graffiare, they're going to show their arm, the physical arm. Ma El gridò, but my guide said, nessun di voi sia ferro. No one touches me here, no one. Innanzi che l'uncin vostro mi pigli, before you attack me with your hooks. Traggasi avanti l'un di voi che muda. Let someone who reads you to come and listen to what I have to say. E poi da rungigliarmi si consiglia. And then he will tell you whether to place your hooks on my skin, if you like. And I forget he's a soul, but again, it's as if the souls have got a body. They haven't. But the hurt is just the same. Tutti gridarono. So everyone says, vada Malacoda. So Malacoda is the head of the 10 devils. Per cui si mosse e gli altri stettero fermi, and the others stopped. E venne a lui dicendo, che gli approda? Why you come here? I'll read you some of the notes about these devils in a minute. Credi tu, Malacoda, che qui vedermi essere venuto, disso il mio maestro, sicuro già da tutti i vostri schermi, senza voler divino e fato destro? Do you think I would come here without divine intervention? I'd be a fool to come here. Lascia andare, che nel cielo è voluto. You can't touch me because up there they want me to accompany someone through this bolgia. Che mostri altrui questo cammin di Silvestro, that I show this cammino, this path to someone who's going somewhere else. Allora gli fu l'orgoglio si caduto. So his pride, his arrogance, Malacoda, stops and he says, okay, I can't do anything here. God wants it. And God is above the devil, of course. There are a few leaders in hell. If you like, he's the main devil, Lucifer. The main devil is under God, because there's justice involved as well. So God is not all good. It's got a sense of proportion in terms of people doing the right thing. So this is a place of punishment. Allora gli fu l'orgoglio si caduto che si lasciò cascar l'uncino a piedi. So he dropped his hook to his feet e disse agli altri and said to the others, ormai non sia feruto. Don't hurt him. Nothing. E il duca mio a me. And the duca then turns towards him and says, Ehi Dante! O tu che siedi tra gli scheggioni del ponte 4-4? He says, see, I put him there. 4-4 means very, hiding without being seen. Sicuramente mai a me ti riedi. You can come there, no problems at all. Perché io mi mossi e a lui venni ratto. So he moved and came to Virgil very quickly. E i diavoli si fecero tutti avanti, sicch'io temetti che ei tenessero patto. And all the devils came towards. And so he was afraid again. Così vidi già temerli fanti che uscivano patteggiar di caprona, veggendo se tra nemici cotanti. So again, caprona, I don't know, this is another place. Obviously make a reference. There's a reference here to a similar situation. Gli m'accostai con tutta la persona lungo il mio duca. So he went to Virgil and stayed very close to him. E non torceva gli occhi della sembianza lor che era non buona. And I didn't turn towards them because I didn't like their looks. E chinavano i raffi e vuoi che il tocchi, and they were putting the hooks down, but sarcastically towards each other. They would say, vuoi che il tocchi, do you want me to touch him? Diceva l'uno con l'altro, in sul groppone, on his shoulders. E rispondevano, sì, fa che glieli accocchi. So, do it. But of course they can't. So this is sarcasm in its best form. Ma quel demonio che teneva sermone col duca mio, si volse tutto presto e disse, posa, posa, Scarmiglione. There was Scarmiglione there. They're the names. I'll tell you the names of these devils. They're called Malacoda, Alichino, Calcabrina, Draghignazzo, Graffiacane, Scarmiglione, that's this one here, Rubicante, Farfarello, Ciriatto, Cagnazzo, Barbariccia e Libicocco. 10 devils. They're good too. They're nice pictures of them as well. Yeah. Okay, so he says, posa, posa, Scarmiglione, don't touch. Poi disse a noi, then he said to us, poi oltre andare per questo scoglio non si può, però che giace tutto spezzato a fondo l'arco sesto, e se l'andare avanti pur vi piace, andatevene su per questa grotta, presso un altro scoglio che via face. So he says to him, you know, he's playing games as well, this Malacoda. He says, no, you can't go this way because all the bridges are really broken. They sort of, go to this other way and you'll be able to get there. Ieri più oltre 5 ore che quest'otta, 1266 anni, compie che qui la via fu rotta. This is a reference to Christ when he died and he went for 3 days because he went to hell and liberated the people he had to liberate. And at the time, because of when he died, there was all that terremoto, the earthquake. In hell, some of the bridges fell. And he says, and that's the reference here to that. Ieri per oltre 50 ore che quest'otta, 1266 anni compie che qui la via fu rotta. So it's in 1302, 1266, it's only, well, I don't know, 30 years. It's a long time ago that it happened. Io mando verso là di questi miei a riguardarsi alcun se ne sciorina, gite con loro che non saranno rei. So I'm going to send you I'm going to make sure that these devils here will come with you along the way. They will accompany you. Don't worry, because they're just going to make sure that that those people who are in the pitch can't come up. So he says, a riguardarsi se no sciorina, gite con loro che non saranno rei. Go with them, they won't hurt you. Tratti avanti Alichino e Calcabrina, cominciò egli a dire, e tu Cagnazzo e Barbariccia guidi la decina. So he gives the people he trusts the most, you guide them. There are 4 of them so far, plus him 5. Libicocco, Vegnoltre e Draghignazzo, Ciriatto, Sannuto e Graffiacane, e Farfarelle e Rubicanto Pazzo. So these are the devils. Cercate intorno le bollenti pane, costor sian salvi infino all'alto scheggio che tutto intero va sovra la tana. So make sure that they get to the other side so that they can cross. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. O me maestro, che è quel che veggio? Dante's afraid. What he's doing, maestro? Dissia, senza scorta andiamoci solo. We can go there on our own. Se tu sai ir, chi per me non la cheggio. I don't trust them. Se tu sei sì accorto come suoli, non vedi tu che il drighignano i denti e con le ciglia ne minacciano duoli? Can't you see what they're doing? Can you trust them? Can you trust them? That's a good question. And Duca says, ed egli a me, non vo che tu paventi, don't worry, don't be afraid, lasciali drighignare, let them bark as much as they want, pur al lor senno. That's what I do. Che fanno ciò che li lessi dolenti. That's the nature of these creatures. Per l'argine sinistro volta dienno, ma prima per l'argine sinistro volta dienno. So they went on the left. l'argine sinistro, the path, the one on the left. Ma prima aveva ciascuno la lingua stretta, coi denti verso Lord Duca per cenno. But everyone was still, looking at them to make them fear them. And one of them, the last one, I think, was the last devil. Who was the last devil here? Rubicante, I think. He goes, coi denti verso Lord Duca. So whilst he was doing all this towards the Duca, Virgil, and, close by, what did he do? He farted. Ed egli aveva del cul fatto trombetta. So whilst they were being afraid, bang! Oh, well, Charlie Chaplin, huh? You think that Dante didn't have this fun and games here? The 10 devils, very typical idea. This sort of idea of hell is still with us. And some of these images here, and some, they're part of our history and our culture. So we use this in theatre a lot, and films, especially in films made. And I have a lot of pictures from of hell by famous artists. Well, fantastic that Maria Failla and Ian Adams have just come on. I just finished Canto 21 of Dante Alighieri's Inferno, and I've explained it. I've explained it as much as I can, and it finishes off with one of the devils farting, whilst he's trying to, they're all trying to scare Virgil, and Dante, of course, is more fearful than Virgil. Virgil knows that he's going through anyway. So don't worry about these barking dogs, he says. So, ed egli aveva del cul fatto trombetta. Let me read you the actual note. La scena finale del canto vede la truppa dei Malebranche impegnata in saluti goliardici e canzonatori, flatulenze simulate con la bocca e veri peti. Quest'ultimo elemento grottesco rafforza l'atmosfera di commedia surreale che permea questa parte dell'inferno. Well, this part here needs explanation as well. So the final scene says, the devils, they're called the Malebranche, the whole group of them, Malebranche, they sort of make fun of these two people who are trying to go through hell. And says, we can't touch you, but, we can get you, if we want to, but of course they won't. Okay, so that's Canto 21, and of course Canto 22 will continue along the same lines. Because, as I said, there were 13 cantos that deal with the sins that are common in our societies. Okay, these ones here were I barattieri, people who embezzle, barattieri, people who cheat, the swindlers, it's a lot of them. A lot of them are going to end up in the pit in hell. Is Dante correct? I'm not sure. Okay, well, that's it for today for that. I'm going to go now to my poetry here. But this one, for my poetry, is very simple today. It's I said, welcome to Maria Failla and Ian Adams. I'm going to read you 4 poems. They're short, so I'll do them both in Italian and in English at the same time. Let me see if I can do it. Here we go. Drop, no, it's not one. Riflessione. I think it's the next one. Yes, reflection. Okay. No, I've got to do drop first. Okay. Riflessione. Okay. This is the Italian, okay? Goccia. L'acqua che disseta l'insaziabile sete dell'uccellin rapace si perde nelle onde dell'infinità del mar. Goccia insignificante, diventi grande nella smisuratezza azzurra. Brillano le tue delicate gote paffute sotto il sole d'estate, poi ti sperdi nel fondo marino e rimani lì sotto la sabbia a goderti la pace eterna per sempre. And the translation is, drop, the water which quenches the insatiable thirst of the little rapacious bird becomes one within the waves of the infinite sea. Insignificant drop, you become important in the blue immensity. Under the summer sun, you shine your delicate puffed cheeks. Then you disappear into the bottom of the sea, and there you remain under the sand to enjoy eternal peace forever. That's a drop. What happens to a drop in the ocean? So that's one. The second one is called sei solo, you're alone. Okay? Sei solo nel tuo mondo, illuminato di luci di città, e brilla per te una chimera nei tuoi sogni. Guarda sull'asfalto, è duro il suo smalto, soltanto sull'erba troverai la verità della tua vita. You're alone in your world lit by city lights, and in your dreams a chimera is shining for you. Look at the asphalt. Its surface is hard. Only on the grass you will find the truth of your existence. So we need grass under our feet. And that's what I need too, for sure. This is called reflection, riflessione. Sei vestito. Non lo dire a nessuno. Tutti lo sanno. E ciascuno vuole da te un tuo brandello finché tu resti nudo. Reflection. You are dressed, don't tell anyone. Everyone knows it, and each one wants from you a torn piece until you remain naked. Good one. And the last one is la divisione. Sento un'ora d'amore, a tutti voglio donarne un momento, però la divisione non dà a ciascuno che un eco del mio cuore. Beautiful poem, I love this one. I feel an air of love. I want to give everyone a moment of it, but its division only gives each person but an echo of my heart. Well, these poems here I wrote, believe it or not, Ian, a curriculum and research branch. When everyone wants something from you, it's good for the politicians. Those poems, they're dedicated to them. Well, I've got plenty of time now to show you some of my Italian connection, if you like. This is a place that saw when up to 10, 11 years old, I was in this rione, in this place here, all the time. And it was very different from when I went back and looked at it. So here we go. We're going to show you. Let me see. This is the place, this here. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this is, oh no. When we arrived in Italy in 2018, the first thing we did, we went to the house where I was born in. And the biggest problem there was straight away that we couldn't shower anymore because the water filtered through down to a room downstairs. It was terrible. We had to call builders to do this. This is the area. This is the area here. That's my sister. With the other guy's an architect. I'll show you the next one. Again, same thing. Because now, after this, and it was nicely painted by Maria Padula, one of the painters from the town. There's got a painting of that. What is this one here? No, that's no good. So we got to the next one. Oh, here. That's what I wanted. I started in the wrong place. This is the area. Here, have a look. we could see, that was what I saw when we got up in the morning. And they are, you know, that's La Stalla, that was one of our properties there. Very old, you know, 400 or 500 years. But look, beautiful panorama there, from there.
Signori del bosco sono qua. Buongiorno. Che bella, eh? Guarda, che bella veduta. Solo quella veduta là ti vale chissà quanto.
They mentioned Australia straight away.
La gente se lo porta a Melbourne.
And when I got to my town, they are speaking English as well. Don't worry, I'm not afraid to show them what needs to be done linguistically. Okay, this is Domenico Chirico. He was impresa edile, you know. He's
I'm here with Domenico Chirico in Montemurro. He's the builder.
He's a builder.
Yeah. And I've come on holidays, and I'm looking at a place where I was born. I was born in a little room upstairs there, and I've come back, and there is an absolute. It's a beautiful place. It needs the support of governments, whether local, regional, or Italian. Here, the only thing that really will work is tourism alla grande, in the sense that people can come here for conferences and workshops. There's an artistic environment in here, and we should really be able to enjoy this in the years to come. Now, I'm going to give the word to Mimmo Domenico Chirico, and I interviewed him 10 years ago, so this is the second one, and I want him to tell me how this place can be fixed. All right, Mimmo, siamo adesso di nuovo e davanti qua abbiamo veramente una struttura che i privati non lo possono fare, quindi deve essere una cosa pubblica.
Sì.
E tu lo sai perché tu sei il costruttore, quindi ci vorrebbe un progetto veramente alla grande. Cosa diresti di fare?
Cosa direi di fare? Qua il comune si dovrebbe impegnare per ristrutturare tutte queste case, almeno abbellire le facciate, tutta sta roba qua.
Ma anche di dentro, no?
Ma ci vuole...
Anche che è privato, non è che... però si possono mettere a un livello pubblico, no?
Sì, per far venire i turisti a vedere queste bellezze, queste case fatte tanti anni fa. Però hanno detto che devono fare un progetto per fare sta roba qui, però non se ne parla.
Sì, ma i progetti di questo tipo qua, in questi paesi, sono sempre a livello...
Dall'altro lato del paese l'hanno già fatto, hanno fatto le facciate come erano anticamente, diciamo che hanno fatto qualcosa, però qua ci vogliono tanti soldi, ma chi lo sa se lo farà.
Ma, insomma, siamo qui nel borgo di Orto di Merola, dove è nato TomPadula. Mimo, quindi qualcosa veramente ci dovrebbe rimanere qua, sì. Perché è veramente un bel posto. È uno di questi giorni, se non fanno niente, la cosa cadrà. È una cosa
Ma Montemurro è pieno di tutti questi borghi qua, poi ci sono tanti palazzi antichi, però siamo sempre al solito problema, che qua non c'è gente e quindi è decaduto tutto.
Aspetta.
Now that was discussing why, you know, things are not done in Montemurro, because there aren't enough people. That's what Domenico says, and this is a progetto, he says. So let's have a look what else he has to say. Come on.
Continuing our discussion here about Orto di Merola and the whole of the precinct in here, I have Domenico Chirico with me, and he's, well, here he is. That's it. So he's a builder, and we're discussing how this place here can move forward. The only way that can be done is that the conference, the Museo Leonardo Sinisgalli,
Sì.
Has to get behind bringing people here to Montemurro, and
that's happening, by the way.
Historical conferences and others. E quindi il lavoro pratico resta a Mimmo e a Salvatore and a few other tradespeople here, but it's important for a lot of reasons, even if this borgo is taken up by a university. Fate un gemellaggio con l'Università di Napoli, una cosa simile.
Ma che stanno peggio di noi?
Ma quello che stanno peggio certe volte possono fare ancora di più.
Sì, ma qua fanno sempre delle conferenze di Leonardo Senisgal, fanno mostre, cioè presentazioni di libri in questo rione qua.
In questo rione.
È diventato un rione diciamo, abbastanza
conosciuto.
E vengono sempre qua perché è bello, poi ci sono i graffiti, insomma questo paese ha tante risorse, tanta gente che...
Ieri sera sono stato a un concerto, c'eri pure tu,
sì,
ma è stato
sì,
magnifico. Io per quel concerto lì che ha fatto la rassegna canora di tutti i nostri vecchi cantanti italiani dagli anni 50 in poi, è stato bellissimo.
Sì, era l'Avis, perché qua c'è il...
quindi qualcosa si muove, non è che non si muove.
Sì, però siamo sempre alle solite. Qua dicono per esempio l'agriturismo, danno i soldi per fare l'agriturismo, i bed and break, quello e quella, ma qua si concentrano tutti i 15 giorni d'agosto. Cioè,
ci vuole un'azione più continuata per altri mesi dell'anno.
Sì, il problema è un altro, perché non so, uno che abita a Milano, no? Dice vado a fare il weekend in Toscana.
Oh, hi, Stephen.
Sono 300 km, 200
I'm in
km.
Italy at the moment, in my town.
Invece qua siamo fuori, cioè le infrastrutture ce ne sono ben poche, non c'è la ferrovia, non ce n'è. Allora,
So you're talking about the infrastructures in Montemurro. There is small towns.
3-4 giorni di ferie, come si
Problems.
fa?
Quindi ci vuole un aeroporto qua
Allora
vicino.
tutti quanti dicono, ma poi sai l'agriturismo, vai in Toscana qua, perché qua ci sono tanti agriturismi, però
no, ci vuole la grande infrastruttura per portare la gente qui.
Per portare la gente qui ci vuole l'aeroporto. Tu arrivi a Napoli, poi da Napoli per arrivare qui ci vuole mezza giornata. Come fa?
Napoli, Montemurro, half a day.
Arrivano tu
dalla Russia,
da Roma, diciamo,
dall'Australia.
da Milano, poi per esempio sono collegati bene, arriva uno dall'Australia, arriva all'aeroporto e subito va nell'agriturismo, vai qua. Qua arrivi, quando sei arrivato a Napoli o a Bari, per muoverti qua, come fai per arrivare qua?
Esattamente.
So that's one of the problems. One of the problems of all small towns, but we've got the same problem here in Victoria with the small towns in our. We've got the same problems here in Victoria with the small towns. Now my computer is doing its own thing, so here we go again. So that's those problems there. I like talking to Domenico Chirico because when I went there, 10 years before, he took me around all of Montemurro. He's a great guide, honestly, great guide for me. And our friendship has remained strong. Okay, here we go again.
Okay, here we go again with Mimmo. So the main problems that Mimmo has identified is the fact that people can't come here to Montemurro because of transport difficulties. So here we need an airport somewhere where people can be brought in, or more easily. And of course, this place here and a lot of places in southern Italy need to be supported by the government in order to create a worthwhile tourist industry within this area. There's a lot that has been done already, so it's not a lot more to be done, but the people have to come from outside so that they can, of course, enjoy a place like this. Allora Mimmo, grazie per quello che hai detto prima riguardo l'aeroporto, che è importante, che non c'è la ferrovia, ma che manca, cioè anche che ci sono poi dei miglioramenti in questi paesi qua, manca la infrastruttura per dargli un impulso, come si fa in Toscana, in Umbria, da tanto tempo. È la stessa cosa. Ok, grazie mille. Ok, grazie mille.
Grazie a voi.
Ci stanno chiamando da là perché vogliono fare il lavoro.
So that was a good one. That was I enjoyed that. That was in the place where I was born. Now here, what have we got here? I'll show you just a couple of pictures here of the place. Now I showed you that before. Now we've got another one here. Another one on a different day. On a different day, I interviewed Domenico again in front of a place where we used to draw water. So here we go, this one here, this one here.
Sono qua, I'm here in front of the place where we used to pick up water. Mum used to come and wash her clothes here, and this particular place has been renewed. And one of the people who's done it, and guess who? Domenico Chirico, and also Domenico Antonio
Di Masi.
Domenico Antonio Di Masi, architetto, però lui è più umile e quindi sta a noi dire qualche cosa su questa fontana. Quando l'avete ricostruita a spese vostre?
L'abbiamo strutturata forse 10 anni fa.
10 anni fa.
Come abbiamo messo la mano d'opera, il comune ci ha aiutato comunque a fare altre cose.
Il materiale?
Il materiale ha messo il comune, abbiamo messo un po' di mano d'opera.
E voi avete
sotto la guida dell'architetto abbiamo portato alla luce di nuovo questo lavatoio che era
e l'architetto era
Domenico sì.
Di Masi. E quindi abbiamo qui delle vere perle a Montemuro, un po' rotte.
Poi abbiamo ristrutturato la chiesa di Sant'Antonio. Abbiamo fatto l'abbiamo riportata come era prima.
Non ci sono state ancora, però ci andrò. E altri posti dove avete fatto?
E poi abbiamo dato una mano quando hanno aggiustato la chiesa madre, l'architetto, poi abbiamo fatto tutti i disegni per terra, quello è stato tutto fatti tutti i disegni che ci sono attualmente nel pavimento della chiesa madre, li abbiamo fatti noi con l'architetto a tempo perso.
Quale architetto?
Sempre lui,
Domenico
Antonio.
E quindi voi veramente siete dei veri montemurresi, pratici, che avete aiutato. Quello che si può fare, non si può fare di più. You can't do more than what you do.
Fare tante cose, però la gente non collabora.
Ma la gente è gente dappertutto, quindi ognuno guarda i propri interessi, però nel totale la cosa funziona perché ci sono state delle migliorie qui da quando sono venuto la prima volta, incredibile. E poi adesso con l'olio ha portato inquinamento, ha portato tanti problemi, però ha portato anche delle risorse.
Ma si poteva fare di più?
Molto di più. E quindi manca anche un aeroporto. Quindi,
manca tutto, ma le infrastrutture mancano. Per esempio ci vorrebbe una ferrovia che da Policoro a Atena Locale. Allora tu collegheresti tutta diciamo si dovrebbe collegare il terreno con il Marione, si potrebbe collegare da una dall'altra della Basilicata. Ma sono tutte con questi soldi delle rotte si potrebbero fare tante cose, ma purtroppo qua la gente i sindaci non sono d'accordo, ognuno tira l'acqua al suo mulino e non vanno a venire.
Eventualmente
lei ne approfitta.
Esattamente, quindi ci vuole un po' più di comprensione. Ok, grazie. Grazie e complimenti per tutti questi lavori che avete fatto nel passato e spero che quando ritorno un'altra volta ce ne saranno
ci vorrebbe un po' più di collaborazione, si possono fare tante cose, ma se non c'è collaborazione non si fa niente.
Ok.
Chi tira a destra e chi tira a mano.
Grazie assai, thank you very much Mimo.
Grazie
assai.
Grazie.
Well, you can see that this was welcome, Angela. This was memories from the times, when we were in Montemuro. But the main thing is that what Domenico was saying, and this applies to a lot of little towns all over the world. The Neolithic villages, I call them now, because there's a community life, but there are certain problems that in today's world where we have technology, advanced technology, and also travel, etc., puts a lot of pressure on the smaller places to have all the infrastructure that's available in the cities. Of course, it can be done. That's a real problem. But Domenico was very good that way. Now, I don't know, I think I would like to show you a bit of, have some music. What do you reckon? I think we did, these ones here. I'll do something here. Here we go. Here we go. These are that's arpa vigianese, that's from Vigiano. They make these instruments there as well. It was a fantastic evening in Montemurro. This is the sort of, Montemurro offers a lot really, because it has, it's a small town, but it has a very rich history, local history. And there are a lot of people who migrated out, of course, and we have a great affection for the land in which we were born. It's something that is true of all people from all over the world. And I think we're not different here. That was that. Now I'm going to do one other thing here. This one here is Zampognare. Let me have a look. Here we go. This is the Zampogna. Here, Sergio, Santa Lucia. Now, Sergio Santa Lucia is also a very good player as well, and we enjoyed one afternoon in his posto di campagna. So I'm going to show you what they did. Here we are, this one here maybe. 1, 2, 3, this one. Okay. There he goes. That's called l'organetto, eh? Guitar. What a way to finish with Sergio Santa Lucia. So we saw the Alp, we saw l'Orto di Merola. It's been a good hour for me. I've enjoyed looking back at some of this work that hasn't been seen before, but publicly. So here, bits and pieces here and there gives an idea of Tom Padula's background. There you are. And you can see when I get there, I'm at home as well. And that's what happens to all of us. The place we have lived in becomes our home, the journey of life. Okay. On this note, thank you very much for those people who've come on board. Now I know that these programs are watched by other people during the week. I would like to encourage you to come and get una copia dell'Inferno. If you want to do a study of Dante, it would be great. Just contact me. On that note, ciao a tutti, have a good day, and see you next week for Canto 22. Arrivederci.